What's up, NSA Nation? I'm Jess Bachman, Digital Strategy Director at NAIL.
And I'm Rachel Jackson, Social Ads Manager.
And this is NSA 102, Why Social Matters, the paid media version. If you've watched the organic version, then you know that social media is where all the conversations are happening these days. It's where the eyeballs are, and where the eyeballs go, the ads follow. But we've had digital ads since the early internet, so what makes paid social media any different? Well, that too requires a short history lesson. The first banner ad had a click-through rate of 44%. It's been downhill ever since. The glorious openness of the web over the past few decades have created a free-for-all for advertisers to use whatever tactic to reach you, and for publishers to put as many ads on their page as possible. 25 years of bad practices have yielded an ad experience that irritates consumers in the best case and is simply blocked as a worst case. Banner ads, also called programmatic or display or simply digital, have gone from click-through rates of 44% to 0.05%. That's not 5%, it's 5% of 1%. 5 out of 10,000 people are clicking on these programmatic ads. And when you look at the reported fraud rates and misclick rates, you have to wonder if the whole industry is based on one dude in New Jersey who's clicking on everything he sees.
Surfing the web over here.
But on the social networks, it's a different story. Platforms like Facebook and Twitter understand that without their audience, they don't exist, so the ad experience is very tightly controlled and curated. Practices that lead to bad user experiences are removed or not implemented at all. As a result, the click-through rate on Facebook is around 2%, 40 times the rate you see with banner ads. And if you're good at it, you can achieve even better results. We at NAIL have run LinkedIn ads with click-through rates above 12%. And it's not just clicks either. Viewability rates are higher on the social networks, and the audience is entirely human. With programmatic display, more than half of the traffic is from bots, according to Google. So unless your audience has a shiny metal ass, the case for paid social versus programmatic can be won with numbers alone in terms of effectiveness and ROI. If you want to put money into digital advertising and you actually respect your consumers, you'll find an effective channel with social media.
The second part of the story is that paid social media has opportunities that other digital media doesn't. When's the last time you commented on a banner ad? Or liked and shared a pre-roll video because it was so good? This happens millions of times a day on the social networks. A good ad on social media will spark comments and conversations. This is an opportunity to not only have a conversation with engaged consumers, but to identify the most passionate ones for retargeting. And the last thing you need to be aware of is that paid social media is where advertising and content intersect. There were a few golden years when brands could build huge organic followings and then just hit them with messaging for free. Zuckerberg ruined that fantasy, and now the typical brand reach is under 5%, meaning your content could reach only 5% of the followers that you've built. You'll have to pay for the rest. So if you're engaged in content marketing and you don't have a talented team to work those paid social channels, you're going to have a hard time getting the reach that you deserve.
But don't take our word for it. The market has spoken. Here are the U.S. advertising expenditures across various channels in billions of dollars. In 2015, social media was dwarfed by the standard channels. Here we are in 2017, 2019, and the forecasts for 2020. Not only is social media taking off like a rocket, but other channels are crumbling before our eyes.
Don't get us wrong. The social media sphere is dominated by only a handful of companies. This is not good news. Some more competition will drive these prices down. But at least for now, these companies have managed to walk a delicate balance between highly effective ads and an engaging user experience. The overlap between those two is a very fertile space for brands to be in, especially if they're willing to experiment with what an ad actually looks like.
Any questions? Enrolling in the NAIL Social Academy is as easy as hitting that subscribe button. But if you're really looking for extra credit, our weekly podcast, NAIL Social Office Hours, is a pretty good use of your time too.
It's really just us talking shop and trying to crack each other up.
You can find it on all the major podcast providers.
And for those looking for some advanced postdoc education, our newsletter, NAIL Social Insider, has tactics and opportunities for social media practitioners and other cutting-edge marketeers.
And if you're just looking to hang out in the cafeteria, our Twitter has all the spicy hot takes you need. And lastly, NAIL.social on the web is our mothership.
Come see how we actually manage to support ourselves in this business. Class dismissed!